Good afternoon, YouTube. Today I am working on a 2010 Nissan Rogue. On our car, the blower motor failed. So, in order to diagnose the problem, you're going to look first at the fuses inside the dash and discover a couple of fuses. That's the indication there, is that when you turn the knob to turn on the fan, that there's no light and there's no fan, so nothing is blowing despite the AC is turned on and other things are turned on. So basically you're looking for the fuse first to ensure that the fuse, two 15 amp fuses, are both not blown. And there's also a relay back there that you can examine, but typically if the fuse is blown, that's a good sign. You replace the fuse and back to business. But if your fuses are not blown, then you have to do what I'm doing here. You have to open up this panel underneath. This is the first step in the process. Forgive me, there might be a little bit here where I'm a tad bit rough because I'm working in a salvage yard to remove the blower motor. This is not so I can take the motor, but rather just to show you the process in which I've taken it. I'm trying out this POV cam here that's strapped to my head, so I hope that you can see pretty much what I'm doing all the time. But this one is difficult since you can't really see what you're doing when it comes to the blower motor itself, which is deeply embedded in the back and in the center of the dash. So you'll start by removing these Torx head screws so you can loosen this plastic panel underneath where the driver's feet go. And also I'm taking off this hood latch, the cable itself. I'm removing the pull trigger, you might say. And just so you can remove that plastic out of your way, you need to be able to see what you're doing. And there it goes. Yes, also the OBD port. That comes out very easily. You could use a flathead for this. I just used my tool because that was available for me. Yeah. Well, it appears that it's still holding on. Yeah, there we go. Now it's out of the way. Okay, so that's one thing gone. Now you have to remove, I believe I will remove the metal panel there underneath. So in order to remove that panel, you're going to get your number 10 millimeters out, and you're just going to pull them off. There are 4 bolts there. Loosen them one at a time. Remember that when you reinstall it, that the round goes up facing that column. It goes up and out. You can see it there. This piece here in particular is a little bit in the way, so I'm just going to remove that small vent. There's nothing really holding it in. Just pull it with a little bit of pressure and it'll pop out. Then reinstall it later with the same pressure. Now we move on to this bracket that sits in front of what you're really after. You want to remove that pedal assembly in order to access the port that you have to put your hand in. So this metal piece really annoyed me. It's something that I guess I'm not sure what it does, but it's a deterrent for what I'm trying to do. So you have to move it out of the way. There's the bumper I removed earlier. If you have an electric drill or something, electric tools, I highly recommend it after you torque the nuts loose on the pedal assembly. It makes things much easier than the way I'm doing it here, because on the fourth bolt that I removed, which is the most difficult one in that top corner there on the right hand side, on the accelerator side, it appears to me, I don't know if they put nut lock or bolt lock on that thing, but it was much more difficult to remove than the others. Not because of the position, but because the nut appeared to be dragging on the bolt. So there's a lot more resistance to turning it, you might say, and it's in a bad spot to access. So I recommend using power tools for this job as much as you can. So right now I'm removing the electric harness that hooks up to that pedal. So there are two plugs there underneath that metal bracket, and then there's another close to the accelerator pedal that you will have to remove. You'll have to remove all that wiring where it attaches, because the pedal assembly comes out in one piece and it has to be out of your way, so it cannot be attached to the cables. So go ahead and gently remove all those cables out of the way. And now I'm switching to my 12mm to access the bolts to begin removing the pedal setup, the pedal assembly there. So again, this was much more difficult with hand tools, but if you've got power tools, use that. So again, that's 12mm for all 4 bolts, and the one I'm removing there, that's one of the easier ones. I recommend removing the most difficult one first, actually. But right now I'm trying to torque them all loose. So yeah, you end up switching to your hand because it's actually easier than trying to turn the ratchet. I should have used my 3/8 drive, but I think I forgot my 12mm for the 3/8, so I just used my 1/2" drive for that one. Once you torque them loose, they should move fairly nicely, except that one bolt I mentioned earlier. Oh, there it goes, I think. I think I saw it drop. No, it's still in there. There it goes. So 1 to go. Pardon me. 1 down, 3 to go. Yes, I believe I was looking for that. So that swivel head piece that you're using for your ratchet is very necessary to remove a 10mm bolt on that bracket that's in the way that I told you earlier. And the only way is to put your 10mm on the end of that swivel head thing, because it's deliberately placed too close that's the only tool that can get it off. If you're really lucky, or you're good with just a crescent wrench of 10 mils, you can try to make it go like that. This is the best way for me. I don't think the crescent is a very good option. This is the best option here I'm using. So I'm just going to go up there and torque it loose. You don't need much pressure, just enough you can take off the 10mm and it'll just pop loose. It's actually surprising to me how my ratchet end managed to find it, even though I couldn't see where the hell it was. So now I'm just attaching that up there. It's in a really tight, difficult spot, and it's a little annoying to get it mounted on and then to try to turn it so that it comes off. But once it's loosened, you can actually just turn it the rest of the way with your fingers, and that's much faster. You just spin it right off. It's not that it's really a lot of torque, it's just in a really tight location. So here you go, I'm trying to get my ratchet on it. I think it's starting to go. This job is all about knowing the rules, how to take things off in a certain way. I do believe they are deterrents for do-it-yourselfers, because if you don't know the technique, then you're going to be chasing your own tail and breaking things. So a good thing to do is watch some of the YouTube videos on how to do this job, including my own, that will explain to you the process, how to get it out, because even on the fan, the blower motor itself, there's a technique that you actually have to press with your finger, and it's not just like it's going to turn out, you know what I mean? It's, you have to put pressure on a certain point. Okay, so this is not quite ready to come out yet. It's not going to slide past the pedal assembly, so I'll just put it back in place and then begin to loosen the pedal assembly more, and then the whole thing will just fall out. So it's pretty tight. So here I go, removing some of the wiring. So they're just little plastic pins, you might say, that goes into the metal on the pedal. And so just go ahead and use a fork like mine that I have there, or maybe a flathead. I prefer to use the fork. It's very easy to get around the wire and the little plugs that go in, and then they just pop right out. So make sure you get rid of that whole loom. Not exactly loom, but that wires, those wires. Okay, yeah, so now here I go again. That wiring is actually in the way of the screw that I told you about, that looks like I'm trying to remove right now, in the top right hand corner near the gas pedal. So having an electric tool to take that off right now would be invaluable. It's just an awkward position, and it's very difficult to take it by hand, but well, I wouldn't say very difficult, but it's difficult. I tried many times to get it off with my fingers, but like I said, there's some kind of resistance on that nut. Apologies for the camera angle. I need a better mount to go in with a light to see places that I cannot actually get my camera in there. or my head rather. So I'm just going at it here, trying to remove that that one bolt, and it looks like it is that bolt because it's resisting me there. I can see it. This job is easier if you can lay down inside the car and kind of put your head. If you want, you can vacuum it first, but I found it easier just to lay close where the pedals are when I did this, so that I'm going to remove the blower motor. Also, you can see that little cotter pin there, or it's just a little pin that actually connects to the brake pedal, which you'll see me detach near when I'm ready to remove this thing. Yeah, you just need a little brake there once in a while, because just the position is kind of awkward, and it's painful to sit on that horn, that rail right there where the plate is. So I just take a few minutes of a breather and then attack it again. Here we go again. Yep. Yep. For me, mechanics is something I learned. You have a problem with the car, and it's imperative that you solve the problem. Something like a blower motor is very important for Canadian winters, and so this is my parents' car. They would be without heat because it malfunctioned. So my dad asked me to, fix it for them. And after watching the video, I was a little bit, well, I wasn't looking forward to the job, but it is necessary to complete it, so you don't have a choice. And so it has to come out one way or another. I'm not sure why I took the camera off here. Hopefully the orientation is still good. Yeah, looks like it's the same spot. Okay. I don't know what I'm after here. I may be looking for the 12 mil from my 3/8 and unsuccessfully. Yeah, it's not there. I'm sure of that. Okay. Okay. Right now I'm trying to remove that pin I was telling you about earlier. It's a little plastic end that holds it in place, so you have to grip the plastic and tighten the end like I'm doing there, then push it through two plates, you might say. The first plate is the pedal itself, that metal, and then there's another plate behind that you have to also push it through, and then you can get that that little piece out. It's part of the brake pedal. I don't know if it's a sensor or something like that, but it attaches right to that sensor, and then I guess it tells when the brake is engaged. But there's a pin that holds it in place, and it's actually a little bit difficult to get out, just because you have to be able to squeeze that plastic at the end of it to squeeze it out all the way, and then kind of push it with something the same size round to get it out. You'll see when it comes out. It's just a nice little pin, and Yeah, I'm trying to find a better way, a better tool to get it out. But there is no other way. You have to work with it and just kind of persuade it until it comes out. Yep. Yep, yep, no. Yeah, I think I'm looking for my needle nose pliers right now. That's the best tool for that job. And unsuccessfully. Actually found it today in the back seat of my car. Oh well. Yep, yep. You have to work with it. It'll come out when it's ready to come out. So here we go. I push it again. Yep. And then you feel from the other side behind, and you kind of try to pull it from the other side as well, and just try to lift it out or persuade it out. And did I get it? Not yet. Just take care not to damage it. You want to reuse it. Yeah, I believe I've popped it loose. It actually popped out there, I saw it. And now the whole thing just falls down. I think I'll show you what it looks like shortly. I may retrieve it for you and place it in front of the camera. That's the pedal setup. That's how it looks. More plastic. That's the pin I referred to. And there's the end. Oh no, that's terrible. You cannot see it. Barely can see it. Anyway, place that in a safe place and don't lose it. That thing is actually required for the brakes. The camera is a bit high. Yep. Again, I apologize about the camera angle. You cannot see much. This is all done by hand. And there's a little plastic piece that you actually have to push and then turn it. And that was a big problem for me. And the other thing is there's a 10mm bolt on the inside of that where the fan mounts on. You'll have to get a 10mm to get it out. On this car, it appears that when they installed it, they didn't put that 10mm bolt back in. So I'm just trying to turn it and pull it out. It's already loose now. Very shortly, you'll see me pull it out. There it comes. There's the... Yep, it's already out. Yeah. All you have to do is work with it, turn it until it just comes nicely out. Yes, make sure that the wiring is safely out of the way, especially on replacing it. That was my biggest problem when I was putting the new fan in, was that it got caught on its own wiring, and you have to be careful because it'll seem like it won't go at all, but all you have to do is get it past the wiring and then it will go all the way. And then just turn it clockwise to reinstall it and counterclockwise to remove it. Okay, here we go. I've got it out. That's the old one, or rather the one that I found in the yard. I don't think the camera is going to do. Okay, so that's the little clip you have to push. Push that in, or how would I, toward the fan blades, push that in. That's what I mean. There's where the 10mm bolt should have gone, but be sure to press that in toward where the fan blades are, and then turn it. Yep. Turn it counterclockwise. That's correct. Yep. And don't forget to remove that that cable assembly that goes in there. It's kind of unusual to remove. You have to press it from the very bottom, and it has two surfaces that feel like the bottom. The lower one is the correct surface. It actually gave me a lot of trouble. I thought it was so impossible to remove, but you kind of have to feel for it, and you have to look for it so that you know what you're looking at. I recommend that you put your phone up there. And now here's a look inside the port. So there's the cable that plugs into the fan. That's the port itself. And so that's what it looks like when you take it out. And it's a pretty small area to work in. It's just the right size for the fan blower to go in, the blower motor to go in. So, and here it is. So I don't know if I'm trying to show you reinstallation here. I don't think so. So thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe to my channel if you found my content helpful, and have a good day.